What's a big mistake that you made or a big regret that you have that taught you a valuable lesson?
I had heart failure, my business failed, my marriage failed.
Don't believe everything that everybody tells you, because 9 out of 10 times they don't know what the hell they're talking about.
You gotta realize your limitations at some point in life.
Many people don't dare to take risks. That's why they stay in the corporate life.
You got a whole life ahead of you. You don't want to be boring.
Oh, that was probably stupid.
The sooner they find it, the better their life's going to be.
That's, I think, the path to true happiness.
Today we were in Laguna Beach, California, asking strangers in their 80s, some of the most experienced people in the world, what advice they would give to their younger self. How old are you?
The real age? 82.
What does it feel like to be 82?
Am I allowed to use profanity?
Say whatever you want.
How did I get here so fast?
Just in the last couple of years, all of a sudden it got old. I mean, I was getting older and I knew it, but it wasn't an issue until the last couple of years.
What happened? What changed?
Everything.
Everything.
I had heart failure, my business failed, my marriage failed. You know, it all kind of happened at the same time. Spending some time working at rebuilding those things.
Feels like I'm on the downward side of the hill.
So what's different than, 20, 30 years ago?
You know that everyone that you associated with are getting old, and you are too.
A little concerned about the future. 80 is not too far away, but for now, I'm pretty much doing everything I used to do when I was a lot younger. So it still feels really good.
Yeah, I actually don't feel any older on the inside. I feel as childish and silly and ridiculous and full of mischief as I always was. But of course, when I look myself in the mirror, I see there are lots of scratches on the packaging.
Modern medicine keeps our bodies good shape and growing together. Short-term memory I do miss.
That's true. The memory is the hardest thing to see go. Medicine keeps the physical body together, but not the mental. That hurts. However, being older, we have enough money to travel in a way that we couldn't do when we were young. I was a professor of art history. I can travel and see a lot of the art that I could only talk about.
A lot of people go through life wishing that someone would have taught them a certain lesson sooner, or that they would have learned something sooner. For you, what is a truth you have learned about life that you wish more people understood?
It comes down to the people that you surround your life in. It comes down to family. It comes down to friends. Everything else is just gravy or icing on the cake. Just choose wisely in the people you spend your time with. That's, I think, the path to true happiness.
Oh, I think that God is real. We all have our little hang-ups and stuff, but I think them are the biggest things. It's not easy. God never said it would be. You're going to have trouble, you're going to have turmoil, but the sooner they find it, the better their life's going to be. It's not going to be roses, but God is always going to be with you.
I wish that we had learned how to keep things in perspective, you know, instead of getting so wound up about every little damn thing that comes along. It gets in the way of actually enjoying your life. But I never was somebody who looked down on people who took a different path or who believed different things. And if you look around the world, or specifically the country now, everybody's looking down on somebody, you know, and getting satisfaction out of it. I think that's very dangerous.
Don't believe everything that everybody tells you, because 9 out of 10 times they don't know what the hell they're talking about.
If you're looking back on your life, what's a big goal that you set when you were younger that you still haven't achieved?
You know, I think I've achieved most of what I wanted. You know, graduated from college, got a good job, married, 2 great kids, you know, got a nice house, nice wife. I took the path of least resistance and had good pay. If you want to take chances, you do it when you're young. There's a point in time where it's not going to work out. You may have to get a regular job. You got to realize your limitations at some point in life. So
I took a break from graduate school after I finished my master's while I was working on my dissertation, because my older brother-in-law asked me if I was interested in helping him. And it was a great experience, and I was with that company for 10 years. But as I look back on it, it's like turning left, and once you've done that, you can't really go back. But I'm not sure it was the right decision.
I speak to a lot of people, and they say similar things, that they have goals they didn't achieve. Why do you think most people don't achieve the goals they want to achieve?
It's not only that sometimes they're the wrong goals, it's just that there's too damn many of them. Pick one or two.
There's a lot of people who would be watching this and they are young, unfulfilled in their careers, doing things because it's socially acceptable. What's your advice to someone who's feeling unfulfilled and wants to kind of break free of that mold?
Try to trust your instincts and follow your heart. It's easy to say, but it's not so easy to do. I followed less my heart when I was young and more what I was expected to do, go to business school, perform, do this and that. Later in life, I think I got to trust my own gut feel more, and I dared to make certain choices, and it wasn't always about money but more quality of life and actually experiencing stuff, because even if you do a corporate career, in order to succeed you need to actually enjoy it, but finding something that you do enjoy, that could be difficult. It's not so easy when you're young to know. If you have a passion for something, I guess you need to try out a few things to figure out. Be open, dare to talk to different people, travel, don't cling to old stuff. Be prepared to take risks, and many people don't dare to take risks. That's why they stay in the corporate life.
You'll give it your best. Only if you have a passion for it, you can fulfill your greatest potential. And a lot of kids get into things just for money, that they could care less about what they're doing as long as they're making money. They're not happy campers. Their life will be very mediocre.
What's the result of that, of me being money-driven?
Boredom will kill you. You don't want to be boring. You got a whole life ahead of you. You want to be exciting, rich. You don't want to be boring. In order to avoid boredom, you got to take risks. You got to be willing to fail and get up again. There's no such a thing as a bad choice. You always learn something. It's painful to fail. That's why they put erasers on pencils. That life is just one mistake after another. They continue to happen.
What is one thing that when you were younger, you put a lot of importance on, and as you got older, you realized wasn't actually that important?
Almost everything. Things aren't very important at all. Clothes, cars, houses. What you thought was important once you realize it wasn't important at all. Your end goal is to be happy. That's all you need. We did well. Successful life in my eyes.
Can you define the word success?
Success is having very few misgivings.
I wish I had started my saving and my investing venture at a younger age than I did. And I wish I had paid closer attention to exercise and health at a younger age. I was always a weekend warrior, so didn't go to the gym regularly, but I do now.
Making a lot of money is something that is real important. When I was younger, I also had a family to support. It made sense, but now everyone's older and everyone's independent, and you can't take it with you. So just really appreciating life and trying to live every day to the fullest is my goal right now.
I think when you're a single parent and you're supporting your child, that's a hard question to answer, because you're basically living paycheck to paycheck just to make sure that she survives and I survive.
What is a big mistake you made or a big regret you have that taught you a valuable lesson in your life?
Well, that is a loaded question. One that I would like to answer, but I'm not going to.
I'm going to guess the relationship one. We hear that a lot, yeah?
I don't have any regrets, so, it's a journey. You don't have hindsight. All you can do is make the best decision you can with the information you have at that moment. That's all you can do.
Sounds quite dull, actually, but it was taking the wrong job off, the one that had more status than the one actually I really enjoyed, that was way more adventurous when I was young. That then I did what I was expected to do, the fancy office, all that, rather than the really funky job that I really wanted to do. And that was selling satellite dishes in India.
I think the biggest mistake I made was my second marriage. What I didn't get for a long time was that he was also a serious narcissist. Life was good as long as it worked for him. And when my money got tight occasionally or any of those kinds of things, it was, traumatic.
Can you define the word love?
Wanting to share most things or everything with some other one person.
If you could go back in time to your 25-year-old self, knowing what you know today, and give her one piece of advice, what would you say to her?
Get out and run.
Try not to sweat the small stuff, and there's that expression, everything the small stuff, appreciate life. You want to set your goals. If you don't have goals, you're not going to get very far in life because you won't have any direction.
I would have just done all the stuff that I really enjoyed. But that was tough. I was raised in a strict way. I wanted to be a ski bum when I was young. I wasn't allowed to. So that's, I think, why I did all these crazy things later in my life. What you're not allowed to do as a kid, you do later on. Look why you see old guys on motorbikes when they're in their 50s or 60s. They probably didn't have the money or weren't allowed when they were young.
Take a deep breath and sit back and reevaluate everything that you're doing and how you're getting there and what you're doing, and try and figure out if there's a better way to do it.
How do you know if you're doing the right thing?
It has to feel right.
Don't pursue a lot of things that you can see down the road aren't going to make you happy. It's okay to be alone, and don't just try to be with someone to fill some gap in your life, because that's a long commitment if you go down that road. Make sure you pick the right people.
I'd still marry the same gal I married. I don't know that I'd do life that much differently. I had a really happy life, and still, my wife passed away 8 years ago. But, I made a few mistakes, but I had a good time. I'd do it all again, yeah.
Well, my advice to him was to marry me.
How long has that been? How long have you been married for?
On the loss.
Over 60
years.
I know it.
Can you define the word love?
Love is some kind of metaphysical state that I have no idea what it is. It's compromise. You have to learn how to compromise. You want it to work, and get 2 bedrooms instead of 1.
That's after you're over 40 or 50 and your spouse snores.
Thank you so much for watching this video. To ensure that you can take action on the advice that you hear, we have created a limited 6-month goal setting journal that is designed to help you figure out your ideal lifestyle, turn that into a series of detailed goals to achieve it, and then give you 6 full months of goal tracking to build the discipline that you need to get to the next level. The exercises and strategies in this journal are based entirely from the advice that you hear from over 1,000 interviewees every week on our channel, and over 10 years of guided journaling experience. So if you're someone who wants to make change this year and get to the next level, click the link in our description to learn more. Thanks again, and as always, it's a mindset. See you next week.